Are you ready to break out of and push past your comfort zones in life? Well, of course you are. What would stop you from doing that? Are you ready to push out of your comfort zones? We're going to talk about that in order to take your passion, your life, your side gigs, whatever it is that you're working on, to the next level. And we're going to start with that right now. I'm Nurse Ann. I'm a nurse on the front lines of mental health and emergency, coming from the front lines just now to bring you this inspiration and practical tips to help you break out of those boxes, push past your comfort zones, and dig into and discover and work on what you're meant to do. So today we're going to start with inspiration from the Disciplined Entrepreneurship Workbook. And it was really inspirational, just reminding us about brainstorming, whether we're it could be for a startup, it doesn't have to be, but it could be, or it could just be something you're starting with your own family, your own life, with a team or by yourself. It could even be a social media channel and promoting what the talent and the knowledge that you have to share that value with others. It could be writing. There's so many different avenues and everybody has their unique talent, but we do have to break out of our comfort zones and boxes in order to be able to do that. And so the top 3 tips that I want to share with you today from the Disciplined Entrepreneurship Workbook was when others give advice, it could sometimes be feedback or critique that is part of the process, as it is with anything in life, not just going after side gigs and passions and talents, but anything we're doing in life. When others give advice, feedback, critiques, that we will listen, that I will listen. Definitely want to sit back and listen, not get defensive, take in what others are telling you. That feedback is so important to help you look at what you need to work on and change to refine your vision and your product, whatever it is that you're working on. So I will listen when others provide that critique and feedback, but at the same time, we can filter it through our own wisdom and knowledge. Take that quiet time in prayer. Think about what is the best path, and then make decisions based on the feedback, the critique, our own quiet meditation and soul-searching time with God, asking in prayer for his wisdom, and then make those decisions. And the second tip that I love, it says that I will have to leave my comfort zone every day in order to grow and be successful. We're going to come back to that one because it's so important. And the third one is that I'm doing this for more than the money, because I believe in this cause, this passion that I'm working on. I believe in this. I believe in my team. If I'm working with my teammates or a family, whoever you're starting this endeavor with, and even if it's yourself, you believe in your vision. You're not just doing it for the money. Sure, it's great to be compensated in order to make it grow, but a lot of times the reason we're starting these endeavors is from something that we have a passion for. Maybe we have a new idea, something that will bring value in a change, and that is so important. So we're going to come back to number 2, and I want you to say this with me. You ready? I will have to leave my comfort zone. You say it. I will have to leave my comfort zone every day in order to grow and be successful. It's not always to leave our comfort zones, because we get in these patterns of life and it is easy and comfortable. And a lot of times we don't want to worry about feeling like we're not fitting in or looking odd or different. But how are you going to push past to the next level if you get stuck in that mentality? It's not going to happen like that. So you do have to push out of those comfort zones. Try new things, go new places. Try those ideas. If you make a mistake, try again, try to refine it, work on it. Break out of those boxes, out of those comfort zones. And a lot of times those boxes that we place ourselves in are from our own minds, our brains, because we feel stuck. It could be from a diagnosis. It could be a label. It could be certain conditions, certain situations that we find ourselves in life. But just keep growing, keep praying about it, keep striving to do better, trying to learn. And remember, our brains do have that neuroplasticity where they're always regenerating, rewiring, especially when we try new things, learn new things, and grow and push out of those comfort zones and boxes. So as I said, I'm Nurse Ann. I'm a nurse on the front lines of mental health and emergency. And I see a lot of people that do feel stuck and like they're limited and not able to contribute or go to the next level. And that's one of the main reasons I started this channel. Make sure you're following and liking and leaving a comment and sharing it, because so many people need this. And this YouTube channel is Nurse Ann's Inspirational Wellness. And there is a link to my website, nurseann.com. Below there's in the description, nurseann.com. And that's Ann with an E, because it's a channel for inspirational wellness to encourage, inspire, advocate, and create. Creating new things, pushing out of our boxes is so important, and I want to encourage you to do that. And we're going to jump on to some other inspirational wellness and encouragement. We're going to start from my published devotional called Inspiration Battles Devotional by Nurse Ann. And that's another thing you can do. Also, you can write and self-publish and just get your work out into there and start promoting it and working on that. But today, this is an A to Z devotional to help us with soul searching and a dose of encouragement, because sometimes the battle to stay inspired, especially to break out of our comfort zones and try new things, that can seem overwhelming sometimes. So I want you to stay inspired. So I chose the letter S, and the word is success. The definition of success is interpreted in a myriad of ways depending on who is providing the advice. As a result, we can feel overwhelmed by the vast library of books, podcasts, and well-meaning acquaintances that urge us to follow the principles that they promote. Who is right? Should we jump on every new bandwagon that promises the secret to win? We have been bestowed with a heavenly inspired blueprint that we can follow to build lives of value and worth. If we stay on this path of divine directives, we can be assured that we will achieve the best possible outcome and be an example for others to follow. The map that we should follow is explicit enough to warn us to avoid getting comfortable in the company of those who shun the principles that God gave us. But instead, when we choose to delight and meditate on his law, the trees of our life will be well watered and yield abundance and prosperity. So victory and triumph do not need to be elusive. We can live our best life by meditating on and activating the riches provided by our Heavenly Father. So that's a good framework to start on, to make sure we're living that principled and disciplined life, along with that, as it teaches us in the Disciplined Entrepreneurship Workbook. You do have to have that discipline and hard work, or it's not going to go far. And then I chose another one for my other devotional. It's a word puzzles devotional. Interesting words linked to everyday life, inner thought struggles, just helping you with wisdom to overcome and thrive. Hope and new light, and of course, medicine for your soul. And today I chose tenacity from the letter T. Tenacity means persistence, determination, perseverance, because a lot of situations entice us to give up or not break out of our boxes and comfort zones. Our redundant routines, hectic pace, even the health declines and financial lack, wayward loved ones, loneliness, and more. We all long for that anchor of hope. The trail is not easy. We need reminders of the point and the ultimate prize. And I was encouraged by Paul in Philippians 3. He described the reason for his persistence through strenuous and torturous times. His reason for pressing on was that goal of the upward calling that he was given. And in Hebrews 12, we were also given encouragement by others who made it ahead to the prize. And it reminds us that we need endurance, throwing off entanglements and fixing our eyes on his ultimate plan. That will strengthen our weary hearts and give us that tenacity and that resolve to live those victorious, disciplined lives of purpose. What's holding you down? What's holding you back in this heavenly race? What do you think is holding you back from breaking out of your boxes, breaking out of your comfort zones? Leave it in the comment after you follow, like, share, all that stuff. And I chose one also for my next devotional, Mental Healing Poetry Devotional, where we discuss life challenges, along with that God-ordained courage and healing to help us turn away from mindsets controlled by fear, mindsets that keep us stuck. So it is inspiration to step into your true destiny of a faith walk and purpose-driven path. And what did I choose today? I did this on a recent podcast, but it sums up what we're talking about today. And I've started doing spoken word. Let me know what you think in the comments. This one is called Caged to Conformity. Do you feel like you're stuck in boxes, caged to conformity? Do you want to break out? Let's talk about this. So, Caged to Conformity by Nurse Anne. Are you stuck in a cage? Your life limited to just one page. Your heart cries out to engage, while your soul fire sparks up a rage. Of course, deep down, you really know why. In His Word, God never told us to just comply, but instead to soar. Like an eagle, we must fly. Loose the shackles away from the ground and head for the sky. We were not made to conform, even though mediocrity rules the norm. Allow His Spirit to change and release. Take a hold of something new. Allow Him to reform. So today, yes, out of that cage you must break. Rip off those shackles by force, or if need, by an earthquake. Grab a hold of the vision, and with the past, make a clean break. And remember, in Proverbs 29:18, it reminds us to have that vision. If we don't have vision, we're going to fall away from our destiny and our true path, as long as leading others on that. And the devotional part reminds us that mediocrity and complacency do not have to define your life. We can choose wise but courageous paths that will be influential to ourselves, our families, and those touched by our character. Many times in Scripture, ordinary people receive instruction to take courage. What do you feel like you need to take courage on? Let me know, and we're going to discuss that, and I'll answer your comments. What do you need to push past and take courage about? They were advised to trust in God and seek His stronger will. He can even send people to help us. And lift your head. It's not over yet. Carry on. And don't be afraid as you live that disciplined life and push out of your boxes and comfort zones. And there's also my devotional, Energized Health, Body, Mind, and Spirit, to help you stay healthy in body, mind, and spirit, because they work together in synergy. The last devotional, and then we'll jump on. I forgot to tell you, this is also an audiobook podcast where I've been reading you one chapter at a time of my published fictional drama, and then we're breaking it apart as it relates to real life. I'm doing it at the end now for the bonus, and we'll get to that next, and I'll let you go. Your time is so valuable. So my newest one is Ignite Life Poetry Devotional. I want your life to be ignited. So along with a lot of spoken word in here, to show advocacy on what people in the world are going through in many different situations, the mind battles that we face and breaking out of those. The last one I wrote is kind of summing up even what we're talking about today. And it's called Your Turn. Now it's your turn. I hand you the pen. Stir up your gifts, mix it up, make it churn. We need your unique voice in this world full of choice. So come on, let it out. Release the creative along with a shout. Show us what's inside. No need to look down. Head up, stand straight, your talent, your pride. And I want to tell you that I am extremely ready to see what you will create. As I said, it could be poetry, art, music, songs, a book, a side gig, an entrepreneurial endeavor, whether it's a startup or something you're just doing in your family, your church, your community, your school, something you're changing at the workplace, whatever endeavor you want to go after. Get started on that. I want to see it. Leave in the comments what you're thinking about, what some of your dreams and desires are. Leave those in the comments and we can get some mutual motivation and edification from each other for that. So without further delay, we're going to jump into my published fictional drama. And I've told you before that I created in my free time as a busy nurse on the front lines of mental health and emergency. You're going to ride along with these frontline workers, rescuing those in crisis of mental, physical, and spiritual. And these shifts are 24/7, and it's full of danger, action, romance, faith, suspense, and inspiration. Lots and lots of action because it's written to be a television drama series with your help. And to make it cheaper and easier, I put the 6-part series in one book. It's the Mental Files First 6 Stories Edition by Nurse Ann. There's a link at nurseann.com. And I also released it on an audiobook. And this is what it looks like on Audible and iTunes. And it was narrated by Drama Simpson, who brought it to life with action and lots of siren noises and different things to bring it to life, to feel like you're right there. And it's the Mental Files First 6 Stories Edition by Nurse Ann, Audible and iTunes. So let's jump into the chapter. We're in book 2, Dr. John Doe. And the last time we did chapter 19 was the last podcast, Big Decisions. If you want to hear any more of these podcasts and hear the story from start to finish, all 6 books, you can go to the nurseann.com website. There's a Patreon and a podcast tab. You can start from the beginning, skip around, however you want to do it. Also, you can get the book, follow along in this book club, and or listen to audiobook. So nurseann.com, that's Ann with an E. So right now, we did Big Decisions last time. Right now, we're in chapter 20, a very short chapter called Dr. Doe Goes Home. And if you want to find out what this mystery is all about, get the book or follow along. The following week, Dr. John Doe was finally ready for discharge. His children had arranged separate weeks of time off from work to help their dad get settled at home and used to his sitters. The family and mental health team felt a sense of hope as the patient smiled and allowed his family to hug him on the way out. And as I said, that was a short chapter. The next chapter is chapter 21, Love One Another. We're going to do that on the next podcast. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe, share, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you at the next nurseann.com podcast. But remember, today we have to break out of our boxes. Remember to get out of your comfort zones every day so that you can be successful. Live that disciplined and purposed life. And as I said, see you next time in nurseann.com podcast.